once worked together a long time ago. They're not friends now. They don't like each other. And yeah, 50 has taken every shot, especially when Diddy has been down. Diddy really...
3 law firms on retainer. I don't know how much money is coming in, but I know that a lot of money is going out every single month for Diddy.
Hip-hop history, and a bombshell claim that Jay-Z ended Shakur and that Diddy was right there to help him pull it off. That is not just a rumor, that is a nuclear-level accusation coming from the one guy in rap who has always seemed allergic to silence. Curtis 50 Cent Jackson, for years, he has been circling these sharks. Jay-Z and Diddy mocking their secrets, hinting at their crime-slinging shade like it is an Olympic sport. But this is not just another online jab or a clever meme. This is 50 Cent, taking aim at the very origins of East Coast power in hip-hop.
A lot of people thought that he was just joking around. It turns out he's not. So this is actually a real project that's being made under his G unit.
Pointing his finger straight at the old kings and saying, "You built your empire on blood. Jay-Z and Diddy forever forget sparkling beverage wars or petty Instagram spats." His loathing for these two has turned into a full-blown vendetta. The kind of bad blood that makes the Hatfields and McCoys look like a friendly neighborhood dispute over borrowed hedge trimmers every time Diddy's name pops up in a federal investigation. 50 is there first, gloating, fanning the flames, threatening to drop even more receipt every time Jay-Z gets tangled in a scandal. 50 is on social media, dropping sarcastic own-liners, roasting red carpet family outings, or just straight up implying the man is hiding something darker than any lyric he has ever written. Jay said, "They said I rocked a kid. Everybody get dressed. We are going to see Mufasa." He posted after the latest lawsuit hit the post. Did not last long online, but you cannot put toothpaste back in the tube. Let us be clear, in 50 Cent's world, there are no innocent moguls. And lately, he has stopped just needling Jay-Z and Diddy for entertainment. He has started casting them as the villains of an entire generation. His latest theory is that these men were willing to cross any line for money, power, and self-preservation, and that Shakur paid the ultimate price. If you believe 50's dark fairy tale, it all goes back to the so-called Vegas Pact, a late-night conspiracy that allegedly went down in dimly lit suites above the Vegas Strip. Here is the setup. The industry is on the verge of explosion.
Jay-Z got his ass whooped by his sister-in-law on camera. What's her name? Solange. You got it after. The feds ain't step in and do nothing. The feds don't care about you getting your ass whooped.
Shakur is threatening to go public with secrets, not just street drama, but the kind of confessions that could topple labels and land people in courtrooms. Jay-Z, still hungry, still building his dynasty, cannot afford a meltdown. Did he always 2 steps ahead, needing to make sure his own closet stays locked tight? So the story goes, the two men meet in secret, surrounded by nervous handlers and whispered threats, deciding that Shakur is simply too dangerous to keep alive over a suitcase full of dollars. But ask enough industry insiders, and they will tell you the myth of that Vegas meeting refuses to fade for a reason. Shakur's demise was never just another random act of street violence. Too many loose threads, too many people who knew things suddenly lost their voices. Suge himself, no stranger to conspiracy, told TMZ years later, "Why you think nobody been arrested if they said the one that did it? Because Shakur not gone. If he was, they would be arresting those dudes for doing it." That is the problem with secrets in hip-hop. They do not stay buried, they just change hands. What makes 50 Cent's vendetta so relentless, so surgical, is how he refuses to let Jay-Z or Diddy shake these ghosts. He does not just troll for clicks. He
although interestingly, we haven't seen the indictments yet. There's been some time lag. I suppose it will take some time to go through all the forensic,
turns their every scandal into another piece of evidence. When Jay-Z showed up at his daughter's Mufasa premiere, looking stone-faced beside Beyonce, 50 was right there, circling like a vulture when assault allegations hit. He went nuclear, mocking Jay-Z for bringing the whole family to the Lion King instead of facing the music whenever Diddy gets hauled in front of a judge or another ex comes forward with stories about his infamous parties. 50 is on Instagram with AI-generated arrest videos, soundtracked by Sound of the Police. He has made it into a running series. Did he do it? Half documentary. Half. Public execution, all timed for maximum humiliation. And if you ask his followers, he is just getting started for him. Although interestingly, we have not seen the indictments yet. A grudge match, a decade-long feud between egos, too big to fit in the same room, but with every meme, every AI deep fake, every deleted post, 50 Cent pushes his narrative deeper. He wants the world to see Jay-Z and Diddy not as misunderstood icons, but as architects of corruption, men who would do anything, destroy anyone, to protect their positions at the top for years. Did has been living under a cloud of lawsuits and accusations, racketeering, human trafficking, freak-off parties, orchestrated with military precision, Homeland Security.
Now, he, of course, is more than annoyed, would be an understatement.
Yeah.
He has a family and he has a lot to protect, including his brand. But to the extent that he's saying, hey, come after me criminally, that could be likely. Why do I say that? Because in New York, and what's alleged in this complaint is forcible compulsion. What that means in English is that it's saying that he held her down.
Security rated his mansions 1,000. Bottles of baby oil made it onto the news ticker, and there is 50 gleeful cracking here. I am keeping good company with Drew Barrymore, and I do not have 1,000 bottles of lube at the house. You can almost see him rubbing his hands, already scripting the next episode. JayZ has not had it easier. The latest lawsuit did not just drag his name into the dirt. It shoved his entire family into the headlights. He claims he is being blackmailed, that he is the victim of an elaborate shakedown by lawyer Tony Busby. What he had calculated was the nature of these allegations, and the public scrutiny would make me want to settle. No, sir, it had the opposite effect. JayZ wrote, that is the official story. But behind the PR statements and the legal filings, the gossip mill keeps churning. Beyonce is reportedly pushing for the family to face it, head on. Blue Ivy, caught in the middle, is old enough now to read the headlines. If JayZ ever thought he could just buy silence or settle out of court, he is. Finding out the hard way, scandal in the streaming, and through it all, 50 Cent keeps pouring gasoline on the fire.
I think that they don't want, if they was in any of those freak-off tapes, if they played a part in any of those Diddy sessions, they don't want it to get out to the general public to make up their brand.
His trolling has gotten so specific, so pointed, that fans are starting to wonder, does he actually have the receipts? Or is this just classic misdirection? A master of chaos playing everyone for fools. He claims he is producing a docu-series on Diddy-esque crimes. He shares screenshots of court filings and claims he will pay top dollar for incriminating tapes. Even the AI arrest video, part joke, part threat, lands with the force of a confession. I want to post this, but I am afraid I am going to get shot. That is 50 in a nutshell. Always laughing, but never really joking. The feud is not new. It has just reached a fever pitch. 50 Cent has been throwing darts at Diddy since the early 2000s, accusing him of knowing more about the notorious BI case than he ever admitted. He roasted Diddy's parties for being uncomfortable and not my kind of party. He has questioned why so many people close to these moguls end up silent or conveniently erased when Diddy's ex Cassie filed a lawsuit. 50 was already eyeing a buyout of Revolt when Homeland Security raided Diddy's homes and seized enough lubricant to sponsor the Olympics. 50 could not resist. I will give you a few dollars for it.
But after that major documentary comes out on Diddy, then you're going to start to hear more and more about JayZ and his nefarious past, okay?
Now sell it to me. Then we can be friends. I am serious. Call my phone only in 50 cents. Universe, could a business deal double as an execution joke? I think that they do not want it. The long shadow of Shakur's unsolved shooting looms over everything. The whispers are getting louder. Was Shakur's end really a simple matter of West Coast versus East Coast, or was it a surgical operation to clear the path for two rising moguls desperate to protect their own secrets? Theories swirl about Vegas, about cash drops, about whispered threats in back rooms. The same back rooms where years later Jay-Z and Diddy would celebrate their first villain. It is almost too convenient every time new evidence comes.
How do you know I'm not a gangster? Or used to be a gangster? I've been in the music industry for 30 years.
Yeah, I mean, the industry's filled with gangsters.
Comes out the arrest of Dwayne "Keefy" Davis fresh court transcripts. Another twist in the endless Biggie Shakur cold case. 50 Cent is right there to remind us it has been the worst kept secret in Compton. The official story might be tied up with a bow. But in the court of public opinion, this is still a live wire, and that is the real danger for Jay-Z and Diddy. The legal machine moves slow, the gossip machine moves at the speed of scandal. 50 Cent knows how to keep both humming, and he is not afraid to use the nuclear option blurring fact and fiction until no one remembers where the truth ends and the trolling begins. Every deleted post is another clue. Every meme is a warning shot, and every carefully timed accusation keeps the narrative alive. Maybe these men really did cross the line. Maybe the price of power was paid in secrets, silence, and something much worse. But what if 50 Cent is not just trolling? What if he knows something the rest of us do not? And what role does Beyonce play in all of this after that major documentary comes out on Diddy? Then you are going to start to hear more and more about Jay-Z and his...
This morning, rap mogul Jay-Z is denying allegations he assaulted a 13-year-old girl alongside rapper Sean Diddy Combs. That civil lawsuit filed against Combs in October was amended Sunday to include Jay-Z. The accuser, identified only as Jane Doe, says she was assaulted by both men
and his nefarious past. So as rumors churn around Jay-Z and Diddy's exposed secrets, the spotlight quietly shifts to the one force in this story that even these titans cannot seem to outmaneuver. Beyonce herself. Industry insiders have whispered for months that the tension inside the Carter household could be cutting glass. We are talking about a power couple that has weathered infidelity rumors, public betrayals, and business wars, but this latest storm might be the one thing capable of shaking their billion-dollar kingdom. According to those close to the scene, Beyonce has allegedly drawn a line. In the sand, the whispers say...
About it, man. So you feel like it was bigger than Orlando Shooter Pot. You feel like it's more to the story. You don't think it was that simple?
I feel like it's big. Say she delivered Jay-Z a private ultimatum. Diddy goes or our legacy does. No one can blame her with Diddy's never-ending list of legal nightmares, from trafficking accusations to wild freak-off party scandals. The risk, too. Her family's carefully curated empire has never been greater when Jay-Z appeared in court filings, all but begging the judge to distance his name from Diddy. Was it the voice of his lawyers speaking, or the hand of his wife quietly steering him away from the flame? Some say Beyonce's team is treating the fallout like a full-blown crisis. Forget the old tabloid stories of lemonade and forgiveness. This is chess at the highest level, her sources talking to outlets. Hints at what really happened in Vegas are driving a new wave of conspiracy theorists into overdrive. The mainstream media may not want to touch these claims, but 50 has always preferred the street to the boardroom, and as long as he keeps spinning these narratives, the legends surrounding Shakur, Jay-Z, and Diddy will only grow wilder. The underlying question is simple and terrifying. Were the last 3 decades of hip-hop shaped by the sheer talent of its moguls, or by deals struck in secret behind locked hotel doors and armored escalades? Is Beyonce the...
And that was to destroy East Coast rap. And what I mean by that, and I know people gonna like, yo, Gene is out of his mind and everything like that. Check this out, brother.
The only one left with the power to enforce real change, or is she just fighting to keep the skeletons in the closet? One more day, and if the rumors about Diddy's wildest crimes, Jay-Z's alleged complicity in the fate of Shakur have even a grain of truth, how much more does 50 Cent